Well, this story definitely got more convoluted and absolutely crazy.
Senator, I believe he hung himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
When do you think you'll have it done, Cash?
I think in the near future, sir.
Like before I die?
Yep, great question, as of course all of us are still waiting. What's really going on here? Well, we just got more insight from the FBI director and the deputy FBI director that did more Fox News interviews where they gave us more previews into what's coming next. And some of the things I'm really excited about, some of the things I'm extremely confused about, and one of the things that is surrounding the story of the decade, I'm absolutely disappointed on. We're going to be going over that and a lot more in a very nuanced conversation, all on this independent media broadcast. If you appreciate these types of honest, real conversations that, by the way, were censored on big tech social media not so long ago, subscribe, click the notification button. We really do appreciate it here because this has been a fight that we've been fighting for an extremely long time. And guess what? Overwhelmingly, there have been powerful people and forces out there that have been able to get away when it comes to hurting small children. There are still very big, powerful predators out there that have yet to face any kind of legitimate justice for the horrible crimes that they have committed and are continuing to commit against thousands of children. Okay, we're talking about people with absolutely big means, big resources, big bags, and the big banks that allow them to do whatever they want to do. All of this as, of course, we have entrusted the new leadership of the FBI to just give us some kind of definitive answers here, to just tell us what's going on here, to hopefully maybe release the lease so there's some kind of public accountability. So at least in the court of public opinion, people know not to keep their children around these specific predatory individuals. At least give us that. At least give us the names. And now we're arguing what actually happened to the man. As Kash Patel went on Fox News, and a lot of people are saying, we had this Twitter user saying Kash is going to release the Epstein list as soon as someone brings him a ladder so he can get down from that chair. The optics here of this kind of TV interview were just a little weird here, to be quite honest. I mean, the whole optics of this whole entire situation, big red flag. Wait, what's going on here? Believe us? Trust us? We're from the government. We had a briefing. We were told everything we need to be told, and we're going to regurgitate it to you, and you better believe it too. That doesn't work. That doesn't work with the Jeffrey Epstein saga, which, of course, is filled with very powerful individuals who are part of a conspiracy to hurt children for extortion purposes. I mean, this has been going on for quite a while. It's a multi-agency operation. It's pretty clear as day. And what happened to Mr. Epstein is absolutely something that is mirrored in coincidence after coincidence after circumstance that just magically happened in a way that doesn't add up. It doesn't make any official sense here, as it was very convenient for all those powerful people, for all of those Billy boys, for all of the people that were filmed by him doing horrible stuff. It was so convenient that his stories, his evidence, all just magically kind of went away. Will we get any kind of legitimate answers? I still think no, but here's what Kash Patel had to say about this situation on Fox News just recently.
Interesting thing, you dealt with Maria, you said, as far as you know, he killed himself.
I'm telling you, he killed himself.
The other thing on the internet is the Epstein files. What's the answer to that?
The answer to that is the same as everything else. I'm not going to withhold information from the American public ever, but I'm also not going to rush to get it out there in a format in which they can't rely on it. So on the Epstein matter or any other matters, we are diligently working on that.
What do you mean by rely on it? I mean, information is information. What are you doing to the information? Why is it taking so long? I mean, we are how many months into this administration? I understand that the administration came out and said, we got to protect the victims. Okay, you could literally use software and be like, okay, take their names out of all the documents, release all the documents. Let's show people what's really going on here. Like, boom, you can do that in a day, especially with all the AI systems they have now. In a day. Sure, you want everyone to read it, but release it. Because you're not releasing it, this is why many people have so many serious questions about, whoa, wait. Where are they? What's going on here? Because, again, this is the story of the decade. Many of these powerful Epstein clients are still in power positions using their power against Donald Trump. And it would be advantageous for Donald Trump to do something about it here. There's a lot to unpack here. Dan Bongino also released a video. We're going to be playing that in a little bit here as well here. But he is saying, hey, we're working very diligently. And then also later in the interview, he talks about how he had to, of course, take people off of cases related to these types of crimes in order to investigate James Comey and his SHILL controversy. Again, before playing the full clip and playing the Bongino clip, which I think also was very eye-opening as well, as Tim responded to that by saying, whoa, yeah, whoa is one way of saying it. Before playing all that, we wanted to tell you about LukeUnfiltered.com. If you haven't signed up yet, what are you waiting for? It's quick, it's easy, it's simple. You click first the link in the description. Once you click that, you're here on this website. Click here. You could do it for less than 28 cents a day. If you could afford more, we appreciate your support from the bottom of our heart, and we wouldn't be able to be an independent media organization if it wasn't for you guys giving us 20 cents a day. That's all it literally takes. 13 years of plus of videos, exclusive merchandise. You get to talk to me one-on-one in the Telegram channel. I've been a little bit busy here at the Bitcoin conference. My speech is in just a few minutes from now, so you could probably tune into the Bitcoin conference speech, a live stream, and then you could probably watch me on stage there with a really awesome person. 3 master classes, and I appreciate your support. Again, it's expensive to travel, to fly out there. Hotels used to be like $100, the cheapest one. Now they're like $400. I'm like, what? Huh? This makes no sense. This makes no sense at all. If you have the means, it does mean a lot to us. So subscribe to LukeUnfiltered.com. Lots of really cool stuff on there, and one-on-one communications with me. Oh, I forgot we had a video of someone asking us a question. You guys get to ask us a question, be a part of these videos. We're going to play one of those videos soon when I get back to Florida. So stay tuned for that and a lot more. Let's play here to this clip here. And I understand, listen, what Kash is trying to explain here is that we're trying to do the job right. Okay, I get it. But doubling down on what many people believe is a conspiracy in the process of us waiting for the documents automatically has people saying, yo, wait, what? Why would you do that? Why would you kind of like rub it in? Whether it's the case or not, like focus on releasing the documents. Why are you focusing on reestablishing the establishment point of view here from many years ago that a lot of people laughed because it's a laughable theory that the government has here? All right? And the amount of foul play that is capable here is something that these guys are clearly, I think, not taken seriously, or something else is afoot here, and they're being forced to do this. I think there's multiple kind of explanations to explain this, and I think there's a small possibility that they could be convinced that they're right here, but who's convincing them, and what information, and is it doctored, altered information that's hoodwinking these guys, that's convincing these guys that they're told, yeah, listen, trust us. Why would you trust agents at the FBI that were a part of this extortion and racketeering and conspiracy? Why would you trust them? They're the ones that were ignoring victims in the 1990s. They're the ones aiding and abetting Jeffrey Epstein, as well as other intelligence agencies, working with him. Why would you trust them? There's no reason to trust them, especially after they gave you a briefing, and then you automatically just came out and decided to stir up a beehive and legitimately starts to, of course, conduct a debate here about the establishment official point of view, which is absurd.
And it takes time to go through years of investigations, years of political maneuvering, and years of cover-up to get the American people what they deserve. And that's what I'm going to give them on everything.
Yeah.
Now, again, another promise. We're going to see if that promise is kept. If that promise is kept here, and then, of course, we will believe it. Now, the FBI Director Dan Bongino came out and said there is some kind of video. See, this is how the official story just breaks down in its official narrative. First, we were told there's no video. The surveillance camera footage broke. Bill Barr, who gave Jeffrey Epstein whose father gave Jeffrey Epstein his start at the Dalton School, weird connection there, was investigating all of this and said, oh yeah, watch the video. He totally did it. And then the government said, what video? Video doesn't exist. Okay, why can't we get the official version of events of what's actually happening here first? So now, Bongino saying there is video and it's being enhanced. Hold on, let's watch this clip by clip.
Those two cases obviously are of significant public interest. I'm just telling you what we see in the file. I just want to be crystal clear on it.
No, let's be real here. You're not just telling us what's in the file. You're telling us your interpretation and forcing it down our throat. That's not what you're just saying. You're not saying, I just saw a file. You're saying, I saw a file. I'm convinced. You should be too. That's a big difference there, okay? You could say, hey, I was briefed. They told me this. That's it. If you would have just said that, okay, let's continue investigating. Let's see what we could find. No, the official story is correct.
I am not asking anyone to believe me. I'm telling you what's there and what isn't.
Right.
There is nothing in the file at this point on the Epstein case, and there's going to be a disclosure on this coming shortly. We are working through there is video.
Okay, you just were saying, and you cut yourself off. There was nothing in the file. Why would there be at the FBI that was a part of this conspiracy? You think the FBI would incriminate themselves? You think the FBI was like, Dear Diary, today we procured small children from this high school, and we gave them to Jeffrey Epstein. Children came back to us a few years later, damaged. We ignored them, told them we were going to do something about it, but we're totally not. You think that's going to happen? All right? This is just ridiculous.
That is something the public does
There's
not.
video of him killing himself.
No, not the actual act, but the entire MCC Bay. There was only one camera. There's video that when you look at the video, and we will release. That's what's taken a while on this. We are working on cleaning it up to make sure you have an enhanced, and we're going to give the original so you don't think the.
Okay. Yes, please give us the original. Okay. Enhancing video. I mean, okay. How do you know that the video is not doctored and manipulated by the people who are extremely corrupt? I mean, that prison house is known for being extremely corrupt. You're telling me you're telling me that the office, who of course has been very resistant towards releasing anything, covered it up, lied about it. You're telling me you're believing them now because they sent you some kind of videos? How do you know they're not old videos? How do you know they're not videos from a different timestamp that just had the timestamp changed on them, which of course the FBI could do? You're telling me FBI showed me a video. Yeah, totally true. Come on now. We have to be a little bit more skeptical than that.
Or any shenanigans, you're going to see there's no one there but him.
Right.
There's just nobody there. So I say to people all the time,
There's nobody there but him. Again, that also broke protocol. Okay, let's see what the security guards were doing. Were they sleeping? They're supposed to be checking in on him. Why weren't they checking in on him? He was supposed to have a cellmate. He was in a cell that was supposed to prevent that. Who delivered the linens that allowed him to do that? How did his neck break in 3 places, which is unorthodox of that type of act? That makes no sense at all.
if you have a tip, let us know. But there.
Okay, that's a good start there. Yeah, okay. That should have been the start. That should have been the beginning. Okay, that should have been done as soon as Donald Trump won political office. Okay, Donald Trump won political office. They lied. They covered it up. They destroyed all evidence, and now they have these guys running around on national television, with a lot of people doubting them, destroying their reputation. Sadly, and these guys had pretty important reputations, and now a lot of people are taking black pills because of this whole saga that clearly has been either not carefully worded and one of the worst kind of examples of PR ever, or there's a conspiracy afoot here. And let's just be honest with ourselves, with the way that things have been going, it's probably a conspiracy, since this whole story is a conspiracy.
There's no DNA, there's no audio, there's no fingerprints, there's no suspects.
Okay, no suspects. Questionable. Very, very questionable. No DNA. Did you guys test for DNA? I want to know. Let us know. But at the same time, his cellmate was in there too. But then they just got rid of him. Okay, what happened to the first attempt? Because the first attempt, we also heard on national television, Jeffrey Epstein tried to. Okay, that didn't work. It was unsuccessful. They put him in a wing where he couldn't do that. And then he did that. And he didn't have a cellmate. And then he didn't have people checking on him. And then he broke his neck in a weird way. And then the government told us to shut up and they wouldn't show us any evidence.
There's no accomplices. There's no tips. There is nothing.
Okay, yeah, you know why? Because they probably scrubbed it, okay? Because you're looking in the wrong place. One, you should be probably inquiring the CIA and the Mossad, right? Let's just be real. Let's just be honest with ourselves. MI5, Mossad, CIA. What do you guys got? Give us the documents. You don't give us anything, and you're found covering up. We will hold you to the fullest extent of the law accountable. But that hasn't even happened with the head of one of the FBI field offices that was hiding the documents, decided not to disclose the documents, and was retired with a pension with people clapping him out of the building. What the hell's going on there? That was just weird. Now, that when Bongino says there's nothing there. Okay, yeah, but because there's nothing there, don't you find that a little odd? Don't you find that a little suspicious? Again, no audio, no DNA, no fingerprints. Yeah, because everything was probably wiped clean by the perpetrators and predators that have been a part of this orchestrated scheme from the very beginning.
If you have it, I'm happy to see it. There's video clear as day. He's the only person in there and the only person coming out. You can see it.
So
Yeah, again, as I mentioned before, how do you know that footage wasn't doctored, manipulated? And again, some people are going to be like, oh, no, you're just, you will never be satisfied. Yeah, because we have a lot of serious questions here that deserve to be answered. James O'Keefe responded to this by saying, just curious, why is the first priority to release a video of him taking his life, yes, over everything else? Yeah, good question here. As, of course, there's predators out there still hurting children that were not held responsible. Now, this interview was fascinating. They got into other stuff, as, of course, Kash Patel was blasting James O'Keefe. The quarter responding, Kash Patel has fired 0 agents at the FBI. All talk, no redeem it. As right now, a lot of people are saying, okay, now these guys are moving into other controversial issues, like the origins of the coup and J6, and they said that they're going to have full investigations here, which we hope leads to some kind of actual legitimate actions here. But again, all the big players here have been pretty much pardoned, and we probably won't be getting any justice there legitimately at all here. Now, maybe there'll be some other players, but Kash Patel is talking about having the whole picture about J6. There was also a J6 prosecutor at the FBI that was just promoted by him to be at the FBI field office. There should be a lot of FBI agents that should be purged, should be fired, should be held accountable for all of their crimes. There's been whistleblowers. There's been FBI agents that were fired, that were gagged, that were prosecuted. Promote those people. Bring those people in. Why are you still working with the old guard there that clearly was a part of orchestrating and organizing conspiracies against the President of the United States? That's the big issue here. Also, Lee Fang actually did a very interesting article, an expose on how Jeffrey Epstein was able to, of course, manipulate a lot of the politicians and bureaucrats at the U.S. Virgin Islands. And he talked about how he exploited them for a reason, and he bought all of them off since they had opaque laws. And it was, quote, a haven for misdeeds and corruption. Obviously, yeah. I mean, he just bought everybody off. I was there. I was talking to everybody. They're like, yeah, he bought everybody off. And he was able to do whatever he wanted to do. He didn't have to follow any rules, any laws, any regulations. He was a registered offender. And there were still individuals like Bill Gates lining up to meet with him, according to many sources, including his wife, who divorced him because he wouldn't stop hanging out with Mr. Epstein, according to her. Again, absolutely crazy. I'm going to try to get Lee Fang on the show here to talk about this because I think his latest work is actually pretty good on the U.S. Virgin Islands, just being a corrupted haven for these predators out there, and he took full advantage of it. I also want to know, hey, Donald Trump, if you're going after Harvard, you should ask them why Epstein had his own private office at Harvard and what scientific experiments he was working on. I'm a little curious about that. I think that's worth looking into. Sign up to LukeUnfiltered.com. Wish me luck. I'm giving a speech soon. Stay tuned for more, all here exclusively on YouTube.com/WeAreChange.